Look, the student loan debt bubble is $1.63 trillion. That kind of money is hard to really understand. It's very hard to understand. Let me say it this way. 1.63 trillion is 1,630 billion. 1,630 billion. You know how much $1 billion is? You know how much 1 million is? If you make 200 grand, you're in the top 1% of all people in the country. As a single person, 200 grand, you're the top 1%. $1 million, you're rich. $1 billion, you're getting into Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. Like, you're talking about Amazon.com. You're talking about Apple. You're talking about things that are needed in society, essential societal businesses, institutions at the billion level. $1 trillion is unfathomable. The student loan debt bubble is 1.63 trillion. They were never going to cancel that. And you know why? Part of the reason why is because that's state debt. That kind of debt cannot be canceled even through bankruptcy. You might be able to cancel your credit card debt, maybe. That's also a very big bubble. Student loan debt, it's like trying to cancel child support. That's like canceling. Do you think, like, let's say there's a child support debt bubble. Do you think they would ever cancel child support debt? If you think so, you and your main man, Hunter Biden, are smoking the same kind of crack. Y'all smoke crack together. If you ever think they're going to cancel child support, they were never going to do that. And it's not because, oh, well, we got to take care of the kids. No, it's because child support is a state debt. But I don't want to go down that road, so I digress. I'm going to say this, and then I move on to the whole thing about student loans. Do you know that you cannot get sent to the penitentiary for owing money? Essentially, they say you can't. They say debtors' prisons are illegal only if you don't owe state debt, taxes, and child support. You can go to jail for. Student loan debt, you won't get locked up for it, but they can garnish your wages. They cannot garnish your wages for credit card debt, or if you got a auto loan or something, or a mortgage, they can't garnish wages for that. They can garnish your wages for student loan debt, child support as well, and taxes to a certain extent. I was hearing about stories of people going to their bank accounts, looking at their account, their balances, and then they see the state took money out. Oh, you owe some money for this, that, and the third. Boom. Take it right from you. That's part of the reason why they will never, ever, ever really cancel student loan debt. There's debt relief programs. I think that's what Biden announced. Oh, but we're going to cancel $9 billion of the student loan debt out of 1.63 trillion, which is a drop in the bucket. They will never, ever cancel it. Let's see what this video is about. Some people have accrued student loan debt, and they're giving their testimony about what it's like living with it. Let's check it out.
These student loans have been a noose around my neck for 20 years. I, at this very moment, owe $99,000. It finally dropped under $100,000. And I have paid back on the federal loans over $186,000.
I mean, look, some of these debts are ridiculous. I knew before I went to school that student loan debt was a thing I didn't really want. Let me tell you what I did. So I went to a community college for the first, 2 years. Got my degree, no debt. I had Pell Grants, and I also paid out of pocket. This is back in 2002 to like 04, 05. So I was able to pay at least one semester. It was like $1,000 for a semester at a community college. Now, I know that price right now is unheard. It's probably like 10 grand at the same place I went to, TCC. I wonder how much TCC costs now for 12 credits, one semester. Probably $10,000 or more. I paid $1,000 for a semester in 2003, that range, about 20 years ago. And then I went to the 4-year college, ODU, for a year, and I left. And my total debt was $7,000. And my student loan debt was that. And my payments were like below $70 a month, about 65, 68, something like that. And I paid it off in 10 years. I paid a little bit of money every month. It was nothing. And I got it done. Didn't miss one payment. But $186,000, that's a house. That money right there, that was a house when I was graduating high school. Easy. That was a nice house in '02. But now you might get a trailer home for that. Now that's a F-150 at this point.
So I have paid back nearly twice what I originally borrowed.
When I graduated from medical school, my total education debt was somewhere around $225,000 to $250,000. So 9 of the last 10 years, I've been making payments, but the debt has now ballooned to $355,000.
I mean, the numbers are so unreal and astronomical that I can't even fathom making a payment. My student loans were originally $34,000, and this year they have grown to over $500,000.
Wait a minute. Wait. Your student loan debt was originally $34,000 and it grew to $528,000. Like, were you not paying any money at all ever in your lifetime? What in the world? How did it grow to that? You have not made a payment ever. I'm surprised you've not had wages garnished. You've not had a lien put on your property or something because of that. That's crazy. $34,000 to $528,000. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? How is that even possible? Can you elaborate on that, ma'am?
I mean, what am I going to do? They want five.
Okay, so I'm reading this right here. Your student loan account details for this month's billing cycle. Account statement date. This is 2/28/2003. Current balance $128,152.92. Regular monthly payment amount. Look at this. You're gonna have your heart's gonna just jump a few beats. Look at this. Your regular monthly payment amount $5,698.30. Oh boy. I mean, what? I'm speechless. $6,000 almost for a monthly payment. There's no way she's paying that. That's why the debt is so high, because she's just refusing to pay. I mean, once you get to that level, you can't pay. I mean, $5,000, $6,000 for a student loan per month. My total debt that I ever had in college was about that. A little bit more, about $7,000. My total debt that I ever had was $7,000. That's her monthly payment amount. And I'm sure that's not attacking principal only. That's going to be mostly interest. It can't be principal only, because the principal is $34,000 and now it's $528,000. So you're paying like 90%, 95%, 99% interest on that. That's crazy.
5,600 and something a month. I can't make that. That's basically that's what I make.
You know, if I had that ability to talk to my younger self, I would have never, ever gone for that law degree. I grew up in foster care. My mother died when I was 13 years old.
That picture right there says 1985. Oh my goodness. Shout out to her.
I received a lot of scholarships, but a great big part of all of that was me financing that education. And now I have children and a mortgage payment, and I am very determined that my kids are not going to get stuck in the same cycle that I've been in my whole adult life.
I was a single parent. When I started college, I got scholarships and grants. I did work, but it didn't quite cover everything. There were times when I had to choose between getting money to pay for my daughter's ear infection or buy us food.
It is kind of a paradox of what people imagine doctors take in as income and how we actually live. Yeah,
My man, can I just point out the obvious? How are you a doctor looking like this? Okay, you are a doctor of infectious disease and internal medicine, international medicine, pardon me. My man, if you're a doctor, you can at least do some doctor activity on yourself. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but come on, man. Like, you understand how the body works. You shouldn't be looking like that. You're looking like you're about 100 pounds overweight as a doctor. If you're a normie, I understand, but you're a person trained in medicine and how the body works. This is not really something I want to see from a doctor, personally. Okay, you don't got to be beautiful looking like, some kind of swimsuit model, but my man, come on.
still drive a 10-year-old car that I bought in residency. I haven't even thought about getting a house and adding a mortgage payment and property tax and maintenance to my list of debt.
There's no way I'll ever be able to make payments in my life, the kind of payments they want. So really, my only hope is that I have to die before all my student loans are due, because there's no way I can pay them and survive.
That's the plan, obviously, because again, her original balance was like 32 grand and it has now gotten to 528,000. The plan was to never pay. You probably got all kind of deferments and everything else in the background to the point where that's your strategy, is to just put it off and refuse to pay. And your poor daughter gonna be left with the debt. Now, I don't know what she's gonna do. You're gonna leave it to her, because that's what happens, don't it? Like, if you have debt, it goes to your family members and they got to figure it out. But hey, whatever floats your boat. I mean, really, you can't pay. You have no other choice at this point, because if the payments per month are $5,600, you're not going to be able to do anything with it. So yeah, student loan debt, it can be very difficult to deal with. But to anyone that is young, might go to college, maybe you're in college, be aware of what you're paying for, because it's not free money. Okay, you get your check and you are taking the refund money and buying clothes and jewelry and iPhone 15, 18, 35 with it. But you got to understand that money is not free. That's your money you're spending. You are leveraging your future. And if you leave college with a useless degree and $200,000 in debt, you got to ask yourself, what am I doing? So don't do that. Your objective should be to have the lowest amount of money possible in student loan debt.